Hello. We are welcome once again. I hope I am still audible.
You are audible,
Oh,
sir.
thank you very much. Thank you. So, we'll continue. So, what we did before the last first part was to record cash expense. So, there are instances whereby you need to incur expenses that you pay instantly. Now, these expenses is not limited to operational expenses alone. You can also use write check to incur expense whereby you buy your product, the goods that you buy and sell. Remember, we use enter bill to buy. This enter bill here, we use this to buy an item from ABC, office supply, or credit. But you can also use, or I mean to say, we use enter bill. We use this enter bill or receive item to receive. That was yesterday. Hopefully, yeah, that was yesterday. I can still do right check. You can still click on right check. You see, we also have expense tab and items tab, just like we have on the enter bill window. So from the item tab, I can select my Ankara fabric. This is in the case where I am buying with cash. Okay, so I'm going to click on escape button from my window, from my keyboard to visit this window, hopefully. Yeah. Okay, so the next is bank reconciliation. Good. Now, this bank reconciliation is as easy as anything you can think of. So what do I mean? What you just need to do is to go to the banking menu and you go to reconcile. Now, before you reconcile, you need to make sure you have your bank statement with you. So because we would need those information here in order to reconcile. So now we have account which is Premium Trust Bank. We only have one bank account. We also have statement date. So this reconciliation we want to do is as of what date. So let's since it is today, let me just use today, which is 22nd. It's always at the end anyway. It's always taking you to the end. Yes, you just take it to the end. So we are in June, so we can no longer use May, right? Now the ending balance is of June. So in order for this reconciliation to make sense, in order for it to make sense, I would like to do some reverse engineering. So let's go back. Let's go to reports. I mean to say report. Okay, let's go to register. So from banking, you can go to use register. So I want to see the register for my payment trust bank. Let me see how much is remaining. So we have 10,000 remaining here, right? We have 10,000. Okay. So I'm going to exit that. So let's have it at the back of my mind. We have 10,000. Let me also look at balance sheets just to double. Of course, it will be the same. It's not going to be different from what we have from our bank register. So you see it's still 10,000. Okay, so let's go back to reconciliation. So I'm going to reconcile now. Now I want to reconcile. If I use 31st of May, our record of transaction is between yesterday and today. So I have to make sure it is in that period. So I'm going to June instead, right? Now the ending balance is supposed to be 10,000. So but I'm not going to put 10,000 now. Why? Because there might be service charge and interest earned on this account, which will make the balance to differ. This is also one of the reasons why there is a need for bank reconciliation. So let's say service charge is 2,000. Let me use 2,000. So the background. Okay. So let's use 2,000 naira. So 2,000 naira is as at, I'll still use the June. Remember, we are not done with May. So that is why, I mean, we are not done with June. So that is why it's still showing us May, right? So we only concluded May. Now, the interest earned can be 1,000. Let's see if there's any interest earned on these bank statements. So, what do you think if you do your permutation and combination, you see that we have a difference of 1,000. It means there was a service charge of 2,000 on that 10,000 that we think we have as the balance from our own record here. But on getting the bank statement from the bank, we notice that we have a service charge that they have charged us of 2,000. So it means the balance is no longer going to be 10,000. The balance now is going to be 8,000. 8,000. Okay. Now, if the balance is 8,000, I'm supposed to input 8,000. But hold on, I want to also take record of the interest in. Now, it is not compulsory that there must be any interest in or service charge, but I just want to show us all possible outcome, all possible avenues that we can make record of this, make this reconciliation possible. So 8,000 then plus an interest of 1,000. So our balance at the end of the day is supposed to be 9,000. Sorry guys, it's like this software wants us to always go for a tea break. Sorry, there is no provision for that tea break, but I see it's obvious that the software is always trying to remind us that, so yeah, let's go for some seconds break so that we don't get exhausted, which is a good thing, all right? It's a good thing. So let's continue from where we stop. Okay, so just like I said, you still need to make sure that you select the account that will track the service charge and also the account that will track this interest in. So if you click over here, let's see if we have any account for service charge. So there's bank service charge. Now, if you look at the other side, it is an expense account. So let's also look at this. If you have any interest, there is nothing for interest in. So interest. Rather, we only have interest expenses. So just like we did the other time, we could just do interest, and right, and click on tab. I'm clicking on tab on my keyboard. So when I click on tab, if you ask me to set up, I'll set up. Then I'll have to make sure it is under other income. You see, accurately classified as under as other income. I'm gonna go ahead and save and close. So I don't need to go to my chart of accounts in order to do this. I can just do it from this. So then I'll go ahead and click on continue. Now you have your bank statements with you. So since you have your bank statement with you, it's very, very compulsory. It's important that you also tick as your mark. If you look over here, we have only one payment, I think. Yeah, no, only one income, which is 30,000. And we have two payments, which is 15,000 and 5,000, right? So what you just need to do is to look at your bank statements. You have, if it is only one income, only one deposit that was made, you just click on this. Once I check it, it has taken note of this. Then if it happens that there is more than one deposit, so maybe you did not record on your software. So what you need to do, what you need to do is to exit this place, go and record, go and check and make sure you effect that changes on your software before you come back and continue. Similarly, what if what you have is lesser than what you have on the bank statement, what you have on here is lesser than what you have on your bank statement. It means you added what is not there. So it means you have to go back to your accounting software and check. Maybe it was on a different date, or the transaction was wrongly entered. Apply the same approach to this other expense side. Okay, so I'm going to click on this other side. I'll check this, and I'll also check this. What do you see here now? We have a difference of 0. So as I'm checking these things, I'm also checking them on my hard copy bank statement or on my system, the PDF on the system or Excel, whichever. You can go ahead and click on reconcile Now, this is how we go about reconciling. Then the next thing, the last is you are recording staff salary payment totaling 100,000 for June using journal entry. Okay, so we want to pay for staff salary. Okay, as you saying, what's missing component? Don't mind it. So we're done with the reconciliation. Okay, so let's refresh. The balance sheet wants to refresh. So this is that. So the next one, which is the last one, before we now leave room for questioning and then any other points I want to make. So we want to record salary. So let's say we are paying, they did not indicate anybody's name, but they say it's total. So I would love to indicate. So let me see, I want to track based on so that one employee will not come and meeting tomorrow and say that we will not pay them salary. I will be very, very happy to show them the transaction. So just like we did for customer and vendors, we have to also create from employee center our employee. Yes, we have a similar uh, outlook or outlay. So new employee, then let's use what do you have here? Let's use Lois. Sorry if I pronounce it wrongly. So okay, so I'm using that. Just that information alone, I think I can leave us. This one just go ahead. Right? So we have an employee. All right. So let's go and pay this employee using general. Now, in case there's a question coming, there's a built-in function for payroll here in this software. So, but I want us to make use of general. So let's go to company and go to make general entries. From the make general entries, it look like your general. So I'm going to select at the end of the month, which is still far. Let me use today so that I can see our reports appropriately and accurately. So I'm going to select debit and credit. Of course, let's see if we have salaries. We don't have salary. Let's see if we have payroll. So payroll expense can go for that. They say 100,000. So, but I know we don't have up to 100,000 in our bank account. So you can still spend, let's just say, 5,000. But of course, for the fact that you don't have up to 100,000 in your bank account on this software, doesn't mean that you cannot still incur, cannot still pay it to allow you. So the next, you can just put a memo. If there is a memo being payment of salary, June salary payment of there is. So let's just say June. So let's say maybe it's May to June, right? May to June. So June salary payments. Okay. Then you select the bank. So you're paying from premium trust. Now, if it is outstanding, it's a different thing. If it is outstanding, you are debiting payroll expense and what is it called? Payroll payable, which is a liability account. Then afterwards, we now come and do another journal entry to debit the payroll payable liability account and credit your bank account. But now we are assuming we are paying instant. So, but then I have to select that I'm paying somebody. So who am I paying? I'm paying an employee called Luis. Okay, so I'll go ahead and say Luis. So with this, you can just go to check my report to see if everything is also in line. So I'll go to profit and loss and also bank balance sheet here because my bank will have this. So let's see if we have something like salary, payroll expense. So we have fuel, 5,000, office, supply, payroll expense. So if we go to balance sheet, we also have a reduction on the premium trust from 10,000 to 5,000. And this net income of 17,500 negative is coming from the profit and loss because everything is linked accurately. The one last thing is cash flow. So I can just go to here, click on cash flow. The cash flow will also show you some in and outs that have occurred. Yes, so this is operating activity so far. There is no financing or investing activity. Equity did not come in, so there's no room for financing, right? Yeah, for financing. Then investing also, maybe one will incur any fixed assets or something like that nature. So this brings us to the end of the class. Just one note before I give room for questioning. If you are interested to still know further, please don't hesitate. This is just a glimpse of what the software you can do with the software. You can do more. You can even do for manufacturing. If you're into as tedious as manufacturing is, your raw materials, work in progress, finished goods. You can also use it for restaurants. You can also use it for, let's say, salon, hair salon, where you pay a contractor. So you have someone that is working for you that you pay on behalf of the people that they make their hair or something. If you are talking about real estate, you are talking about hotel, hospitality, hotel. You are talking about FMCGs, fast moving consumable goods. Those who buy in carton, they buy all these things. Water, Nestle products. Think about it as far as you can think to. NGOs can also design this software to make use of this software for those purposes. If you're interested to also learn further, this is just an avenue to let us understand that there are ways that we can actually use this software for our accounting purposes that we don't need to really stress ourselves to have any accounting background. Not to even mention, there is accountant and tax where you can go check your trial balance, you can go check your adjusting journal entries, financial number details, audit trail, and stuff like that. Adjusted trial balance. You see all the possible information. So this is showing last one. So one very important key note, make sure you select all the date range so you can see everything is showing on our trial balance. So if you have any interest, please don't hesitate to reach out to us through the WhatsApp link. Privately, you can send a message and we can continue. If you also need the software, I send a link for the 30 days trial. You can download that and also use it to practice if you are still interested. And if you don't want to, if you want to go beyond the 30 days trial, there are also provisions for the software where you make one-time payment and you don't need to pay maybe monthly or yearly subscription to be able to maintain those software. And one good thing about this, you can also export to Excel and import to Excel. I'm going to also share a link to my YouTube channel where if you're interested, you can still go and check almost up to, if not up to 200 or thereabouts, not underrating it, videos that we've made on QuickBooks, Zoho Books, Sage, QuickBook POS, um, Mention. They are all available. So the floor is open. Sorry for the little marketing. The floor is open. Can I ask a question based on what you've learned so far today and yesterday? If you have any question. So we have 9 minutes to attend to ourselves for the time runs out. Anybody?